Yeah, last week when we talked to you, you felt like your stuff was pretty good, and then, the results weren't exactly what you wanted, obviously. But this week just seemed like everything came together. Just overall, how are you feeling out there, and what was working?
Yeah, I felt really similar to last week. Just I think I executed pitches a little better today. Really once started landing fastballs in, and then my cutter and slider were really good today. And so once I was hitting fastballs in really good, and that set up for me to be successful.
Were you determined to finish the game? Were you even entertaining the idea of coming out, or what were your emotions like going into those final innings?
Um, Really, I had no idea what my pitch count was, and I think it was in like the seventh inning or sixth inning. I look up and I was at like 70 something pitches or 60 something pitches. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go 9 today. And Hobbs came to me after the eighth and he was like, well, and I was like, yeah, I want it. And that was cool. I threw 113. That's the most I've ever thrown. But yeah, it was good.
For Caleb and Peyton, just what was it like playing behind him today?
It was awesome. I think I heard DVH say something. It was kind of like he was just filling it up all day. So as infielders, we were just like he said, we were on our feet. We kind of just thought every ball was going to come to us at any point, and we were just trying to make every single play for this guy because he was just throwing such a gem.
That's well said.
You were part of the bottom of the order that really came through today. Just what was the mindset, and like how big is it whenever y'all can also produce when the top of the order maybe isn't having the best day?
I think it shows how like deep our lineup is as a whole. Because the top of the lineup hasn't really been rolling as well as they usually are, and so I think it shows whenever we all get going at the same time that we're going to be really hard to beat. And I think it's good for the bottom of the lineup, to get going, produce some runs, and shows just how good we are.
Peyton had a 6-hit weekend. What was it like hitting in front of him this weekend?
I was trying to get on base for the most part early on, but I wasn't doing too good job of that until today. But no, he stepped up big time. Obviously with the injuries that we've had, he's had to, come in and play that second base role, especially the past 2 weekends, and he's done an unbelievable job. It's been a kudos to his hard work and staying ready.
For any of you who want to answer this, can you describe the magnitude of the win today, the series win?
It's big. We going into today, we know that we don't lose home series very often, and we kind of had that mindset going into today, and we took that like to a heart. Obviously he went out there and did everything he could, and we went out there and tried to play our hearts out. It was hot out there, it was grueling, but it was really fun and it was awesome.
They did a good job.
Hey Hunter, do you remember the nine, not a 7 inning, but a 9 inning complete game?
That was my first one, 9. So yeah. Yep. I threw I think 1-8 and then like a complete game 7 inning at Sanjay. But this is my first 9 inning.
And I think your longest you've gone 6 innings 4 times.
Yeah.
And then there's, like Dave said, sometimes it could depend on how stressful the innings are. But did you surprise yourself, or when did it hit you that, hey, I can finish this thing off?
Really after the 8th, and he came to me and gave me the option, and I was like, of course I'm going to say yeah. But and then I walked out there and saw what my pitch count was at, and I was like, I'm glad he let me. No, it was cool. It's unreal to throw 9 innings, and I'm going to pay for it tomorrow when I wake up.
Dave's described them as shin injuries, or the one shin or both shins, or what?
Yeah, it's just there's a problem with my push off leg.
That you didn't look like it bothered you today. How you feeling physically?
Today I felt good, but I'll pay for it tomorrow.
Both you guys, Dave talked, Dave's an old second baseman. He talked about how infielders love it when a pitcher is throwing strikes like that. He threw 80 strikes on 113. So that's only 33 balls. As infielders, just what you guys think of his pitching today?
Yeah, like I said, it was great playing behind him. When a guy's filling it up like that, like I said earlier, we're just kind of ready for every single ball and just trying to make the routine plays and help him out as best as we can.
It was a lot of fun to watch. Just watch him compete every inning. Living in the zone, you got to expect the ground ball almost every pitch, and so I think he did a really good job, locating, and the results show.
Or now at home, I know different guys have been asked about this 13-2 in SEC play. Just why do you think you guys have played so well at home, and what's it been like? And you probably earned a regional at the very least, if not a super regional, probably.
Yeah, I just think when like our goal is to go out there and win every game, and we just happen to do better at home than we have away this year. It's not that, I mean, of course, like when we go away, it's not that, you know, we play down or play worse. I think that um, we just sometimes don't have our best game away, but we know when people come in our house that we're going to ball out, and we're going to compete and get after it.
I think that's well said. I think that uh coming like going forward, we can use the same mentality like when we play at home. Just take it on the road and then we'll win a lot of games.
Yeah, that's good.
Like Caleb, you were probably in here and you heard Coach Van Horn talking about fatigue this time of year for hitters. Given how short these 3 games were, is it something you feel, and is it something that's welcome having these quick games this late in the year?
Sorry, say that again.
Something that helps you, you know, from a fatigue rest standpoint to have these short games later in the year.
Yeah. You know, you kind of after a Sunday, after a weekend series, your body feels it, especially on like a Monday, maybe even rolled over into a Tuesday. But no midweeks, maybe just kind of taking it easy during the week or just getting our work in when we can and just trying to get our bodies right for the weekend is, it's huge for us, at least I think.
When you pitch at the end of a weekend like this, where it's been a 4-1 game and a 3-1 game, do you feel like maybe you're going to have your best stuff because it's just the way the weekend is going?
Yeah, me and Parker were talking before the game, and it was we looked at each other and we were talking about kind of like how we want to attack people, and we knew that we wanted to go in early and then start expanding away. And he said, "This is about to be a dogfight. That lineup's good." And I was like, we just have to compete, fill up the zone, and we're gonna hit. So I know if I just had quick innings to get us back in the dugout, we were gonna have a good chance.
For anyone who wants to take this, there's been so many moving parts with the lineup and really the pitching staff, but Hunter's the only pitcher that's started all 13 weekends. Just how important is it to have his presence and knowing that you're having a guy like that pitching once a week and he's going to take the ball and compete on the mound?
I think Hunter's one of the most confident pitchers we have for sure. And I think it shows on the mound. It's really fun to be behind him and play behind him. And that guy's going to go up there, compete, good or bad, however he's doing. I think it's really good to have one of those guys that's set in stone every weekend.
Me personally, I mean, I think having Hunter Hollan on a Sunday against any team is going to be an issue for them. And that's awesome for us, our mindset wise. I think Brady and Mac have been working really well with each other in that Saturday role. I mean, then having a guy like him coming in on a Sunday it's big. It's huge.
Hunter, you had a little bit of trouble there in the second inning, runners on the corners. You got the big double play to get out of it. Could you describe that play, kind of what you saw on it and everything?
Yeah, I was glad it wasn't hard hit. But no, that was big. That was one of the reasons why I was able to go 9. It kept, that at least kept me from throwing one more pitch. Yeah, that was a big play.
And also, how much has your injury maybe impacted your outings the last few times, and how good was it to feel good enough to be able to remind people like, hey, this is the kind of pitcher I am today?
Yeah, it's just something we're gonna have to keep battling through. It didn't feel any different today than it has the past few weeks.
You've been starting now for a while. Just how have you taken to that? What's it been like? And maybe Caleb, after he gets done, maybe you could give your thoughts on how he's filled in for Peyton, the other Peyton.
Just doing my thing. I've been waiting for an opportunity all year, and I got it, and I think I've done a pretty good job. Playing into my role at the bottom of the lineup. Just playing good defense and just doing everything I can to help the team win.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he's doing a tremendous job stepping up into that role. And, as you guys can see, he's playing really well and he's being a very solid piece for us and major points for the reason why we won 2 games this weekend. So,
yeah, I think I haven't looked at it, but I bet him and like Stovall's play at second base is pretty similar. Like not a lot of errors. I mean, he's made great plays, and to sit really most of the year and play here and there, but then you get a start at Mississippi State, and it's like you're playing now in the SEC weekends, and you got to fill in a spot in the lineup, play good defense, and that's what he's done. So I couldn't be happier for him.
thank